Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into one of the most intense and mysterious encounters beneath the waves, a moment that had both the United States and China on high alert. It all began in the depths of the Pacific Ocean, where an American surveillance vessel picked up an unusual acoustic signature. At first, the sound seemed routine, another ship passing through open waters, but within seconds, the crew realized they were listening to something far more sophisticated, something designed to stay hidden, a Chinese submarine operating deep inside a zone it shouldn't have been in. What followed was a tense and secretive standoff between two of the world's most powerful navies, one that tested stealth, strategy, and nerve. Inside the control room of the U.S. Navy destroyer, tension was thick. The sonar operators could feel the pressure as they tracked every faint ping bouncing off the ocean floor. The faint, rhythmic sound of propeller blades told them it wasn't a whale or a geological echo. It was a vessel, a quiet, deliberate, and advanced. The U.S. officers immediately recognized the pattern. It matched the acoustic fingerprint of a Type 093A Shang-class nuclear attack submarine, one of China's newest and most advanced models. The realization sent a chill through the command deck. The submarine wasn't supposed to be there. It was operating dangerously close to a sensitive U.S. naval exercise zone, an area where multiple American warships were conducting drills alongside Allied vessels. The U.S. Navy quickly shifted from training mode to real-world surveillance. Anti-submarine warfare helicopters were scrambled, sonar buoys were deployed, and surface ships adjusted their positions in a silent, calculated dance. The objective wasn't to provoke a confrontation, it was to confirm the target and gather intelligence without escalating the situation. But beneath the surface, both sides were already playing a high-stakes game of cat and mouse. The Chinese submarine, designed for extreme stealth, began changing depth, adjusting course, and masking its noise by staying close to the ocean's thermocline layer, a zone where water temperature changes rapidly with depth and distorts sonar detection. For hours, the U.S. Navy's sonar systems tried to maintain contact. Every few minutes, the submarine seemed to disappear, slipping below the detection threshold, only to reappear miles away. It was clear the crew aboard the Chinese vessel were highly trained, executing evasive maneuvers with precision. But what they didn't know was that the U.S. Navy had deployed an advanced network of undersea listening devices, a part of the classified integrated undersea surveillance system, stretching across critical points in the Pacific. These sensors picked up even the faintest acoustic signatures, and slowly, the full picture began to emerge on the Navy's tactical screens. The submarine wasn't just passing through. It was shadowing a U.S. carrier strike group. The USS Ronald Reagan, one of the Navy's most powerful aircraft carriers, was conducting flight operations just a few hundred miles away. The presence of a Chinese nuclear-powered submarine in the vicinity raised immediate concerns about intelligence gathering, or worse, a potential confrontation. The Navy's chain of command quickly relayed the information up to the Pacific Fleet headquarters in Hawaii, where analysts and admirals pored over the data. The question was clear: what was China doing there, and how far were they willing to go? As intelligence reports poured in, the Pentagon grew increasingly concerned. The situation had echoes of past incidents, Cold War encounters when American and Soviet submarines shadowed each other dangerously close to the brink of disaster. But this was different. The technology was far more advanced, and the stakes in the South and East China Seas had never been higher. The Chinese submarine's proximity to the carrier suggested deliberate reconnaissance. Some suspected it was testing the U.S. Navy's detection capabilities, gathering information about sonar strength, radar patterns, and response time. Others believed it might have been part of a deterrence message, a signal from Beijing that it could operate anywhere it wanted, even near American forces. Inside the submarine, the Chinese crew was likely on high alert as well. Every ping, every vibration, and every signal mattered. They were operating in silence, relying on sonar imaging and periscope observation when safe. But as USP-8A Poseidon reconnaissance aircraft began circling overhead, dropping sonar buoys into the water, the submarine's mission turned into a desperate attempt to remain unseen. The ocean became a battlefield of acoustics, where every move could reveal or conceal life. The U.S. Navy used low-frequency active sonar sweeps, and when one of those signals bounced back with a faint metallic echo, they knew they had found it again. The detection was confirmed. The submarine was only about 60 nautical miles from the carrier group. The U.S. Navy's destroyers, equipped with advanced sonar suites, began closing in to monitor it more closely. However, no one wanted to trigger an incident. Orders were strict: maintain distance, track the target, but avoid any aggressive move. Meanwhile, communication lines between Washington and Beijing lit up quietly through diplomatic channels. China denied any wrongdoing, claiming routine navigation, while the U.S. insisted on the importance of freedom of navigation and maritime safety. Both sides understood that a single miscalculation could spiral into something much worse. As the hours passed, the Chinese submarine made a daring move. It suddenly changed course, heading straight toward deeper waters, where sonar detection would be most difficult. The U.S. Navy responded by deploying a coordinated tracking operation: destroyers on the surface and aircraft in the sky forming a wide net. Using magnetic anomaly detectors and hydroacoustic triangulation, they narrowed down the submarine's likely escape path. The tension inside both command centers, American and Chinese, must have been palpable. Every maneuver, every signal, every silence could alter the outcome. Then, something unexpected happened. The submarine briefly surfaced just long enough to transmit a coded message and vent excess pressure. For the U.S. Navy, this was a rare opportunity. Satellites immediately captured high-resolution images of the vessel, confirming its identity. The Chinese had lost their cloak of invisibility, if only for a moment. Within minutes, the submarine submerged again, vanishing beneath the waves, leaving only a ripple behind. The U.S. Navy maintained pursuit, but gradually, the contact faded until it disappeared completely. The ocean swallowed its presence once more. Back in Washington, analysts reviewed the entire operation. The encounter had revealed valuable data: insights into China's undersea stealth capabilities, propulsion noise, and operational patterns. But it also exposed the growing intensity of undersea competition. Both nations were pushing the boundaries of surveillance and deterrence, seeking dominance in the world's most secretive domain. The U.S. Navy's ability to detect and track the submarine sent a strong message: even the quietest adversary couldn't remain invisible forever. The incident sparked deep discussions within the Pentagon and among allied nations. If a Chinese nuclear submarine could operate that close to an American carrier group, what did that say about future naval warfare? The oceans, once vast and isolating, were now saturated with technology: sensors, drones, and artificial intelligence working together to create a constant state of awareness. But with awareness came vulnerability. One false reading or misinterpreted signal could trigger a chain of reactions that neither side truly wanted. Experts compared the event to a chess match played on a board the size of the Pacific Ocean. Every move was calculated, every signal carefully managed. Yet beneath the strategic control lay human fear. The sailors and officers who understood that one mistake could mean disaster. Many of them would later recall that moment, describing how the tension felt like a weight pressing down on every decision. The sense of uncertainty, of waiting for the next sound or signal, defined the experience. The U.S. Navy eventually classified the details of the engagement, but leaked reports indicated that the submarine may have suffered minor technical issues, forcing it to retreat sooner than planned. Meanwhile, China increased its naval patrols near the South China Sea, signaling its displeasure and determination to continue asserting its maritime claims. The U.S. Navy, for its part, ramped up anti-submarine exercises, deploying more sonar arrays, drones, and underwater gliders to monitor key choke points. The encounter had transformed from a near incident into a full-blown strategic wake-up call. In the weeks that followed, Media outlets speculated about the confrontation, though neither nation officially confirmed it. Analysts debated whether the US should have been more aggressive or whether restraint had prevented escalation. Inside naval circles, it became a case study in modern undersea warfare, rather delicate balance between showing strength and maintaining peace. For the sailors who lived through it, it was a reminder that even in peacetime, the ocean can become a silent battlefield. The technological side of the story was just as fascinating. The US Navy's sonar detection success demonstrated the effectiveness of next-generation undersea warfare systems. These included the Advanced Deployable System, a network of underwater sensors capable of linking data through satellite and AI-driven analysis. The Chinese, too, had been developing similar technologies, and this encounter likely accelerated their own research into acoustic cloaking and ultra-quiet propulsion systems. The race for silence beneath the sea was now as crucial as the race for air superiority had once been. While military analysts dissected every aspect of the incident, the world's attention turned briefly to what it meant for the balance of power. The encounter symbolized the growing tension between the US and China, not only on the surface in trade, diplomacy, and politics but deep below, where submarines operated in darkness, unseen yet constantly aware of each other's presence. The ocean floor had become an extension of geopolitics. The cost of maintaining such undersea dominance was immense. Nuclear submarines cost billions, and the crews who man them undergo years of rigorous training. But for both nations, the investment was worth it. Submarines provided second strike capability, intelligence collection, and strategic deterrence, a silent but powerful card in global power dynamics. The US Navy's ability to detect China's hidden submarine reaffirmed its technological edge, but it also reminded Washington that the margin was narrowing. In the end, no shots were fired, no official confrontation occurred, and no lives were lost. Yet the impact was enormous. The event underscored how fragile peace can be in the world's oceans. A single submarine's movement had set off a chain of military, diplomatic, and technological reactions that spanned continents. The encounter was a warning that the line between surveillance and provocation was razor thin, and the future of maritime security would depend on how wisely both sides managed it. For now, the ocean remains silent once again. The waves hide their secrets, and somewhere beneath them, submarines continue their endless patrols, watching, listening, waiting. Each side knows the other is out there, lurking in the deep. The story of the US Navy detecting China's hidden submarine is not just about one encounter, it's about the silent tension defining the 21st century's great power rivalry. As we look to the future, this event reminds us that even the quietest moments in the ocean can echo across the world. The technology will evolve, the strategies will shift, but the essence of undersea warfare remains the same: stealth, patience, and the will to stay unseen longer than the other side. What truly happened that day beneath the waves may never be fully revealed, but one thing is certain: the encounter changed how both nations view the deep sea forever. And as always, thank you for watching. If you found this story fascinating, make sure to subscribe for more deep dive analyses of the world's most incredible military and geopolitical events. Stay tuned, stay informed, and we'll see you in the next one.